Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to show you the Mother's Day cards I created. I am really excited because this card is super simple, dainty, and it definitely highlights the coquette aesthetic that I love so much. As of right now, you can see all of the supplies I used, which is very minimal. And yeah, we're just gonna put it all together and give it to my mom at the end of this. So I just wanted to make sure that I did the best I could for Mother's Day. So for my own mom, you saw me create the resin jewelry tray. And then I also did some baking that I think I'll put out as a video in the next week or so. And then I made this handmade card. I have made a handmade card for my mom for Mother's Day ever since I was a little girl, and even for her birthday and stuff, I usually try to make her handmade cards based off of whatever skills, aesthetics that I have been passionate about at the time. So this card, I wanted it to be super small because I really didn't want to have to fill so much on the card. I also did a lot of other projects this day, so this was one of many things I was creating, and I wanted the love to show through, the creative to come through, but I did not want to be sitting here for hours trying to create something super glamorous or big. So hopefully you guys like this card. I would definitely list this as a dainty type of card. And I still go all out. I feel like I still have all the different little pop-up pieces and bedazzled jewelry and stuff. So hopefully you will like the way this turns out, and maybe you'll make it for a friend or your own mom, or I don't know, somebody you care about. So yeah, at this point I'm already pretty much halfway through the card creation. I had everything kind of pre-cut, created a little heart, kind of trimmed the doily I put at the base, and then used my die cut for the little tag. And since the die cut does create a small little hole, I'm using a bow to cover that. This Mother's Day, I decided to do a purple theme. So if you watch back my resin video for my mom, I added purple flowers to her jewelry tray, and I thought it would be nice to do some purple details on her card to tie in with that and match that aesthetic. To make sure this card wasn't too underwhelming, I am going to go through and trace the heart with little mini pearls. This is where the coquette aesthetic really comes in. You know, I love all the pinks and frillies, and then those pearls I feel like just really tight together. When I first started working with the pearls, I thought I was going to be able to pull them off individually, and then I soon realized that I could use strips of them and then kind of cut those strips into individual pieces. The pearls themselves did not have a sticky adhesive on the back of them, hence why I used a glue stick in the beginning here to adhese this onto my card, but I shortly figured it out here, and then I start to put it all together a little bit faster and smoother, and then it doesn't have to be as messy with all that purple glue, which at this point I'm really hoping is going to dry clear and doesn't come through. As much as I love a purple detail, I also want it to look how I envisioned. So here's to hoping that at the end of this, I'll have a perfectly clear and aesthetic card. Alright, now that we have all the pearls into place, I'm going to put some bedazzled lettering into the center. I feel like this really makes the card pop. So I'll be just putting the word mom in the center. I decide that I should go with the O first instead of the M. That way I can make sure it's centered to the middle of the heart, and then just put the M's on the sides. Because of the lettering being so sparkly and a little bit of a darker shade of pink, I just feel like it really completed the front of this little card and made it feel so like girly and feminine. At this point, I do feel like the card looks so cute and could just be presented like this, but for my card, I am gonna go a little bit extra with it and add in a bunch of jewels and gems to just really fill it out and make it truly glamorous for my mom. So now that we have the front done, it's time to go into the inside. I plan to keep the inside of the card very simple. I don't plan to share with you the personalized message I write inside the card. So hopefully if you do make this card, whoever you make it for, you can come up with a little message to write them, whether it's, you know, I'm grateful for you, love you. I feel like whatever you come up with will do. But I am gonna add this little extra piece in that I used my die cut to make, and just put like little heart stickers inside to really make it look kind of more filled. I feel like it's kind of hard to make a card as filled as possible, or even just like remotely filled. Like I don't know, for me, I try to make sure everything looks really balanced, and because I made the front of the card so intricate, I definitely wanted to try to at least make sure that the inside wasn't too underwhelming. So little die cuts and little stickers I feel like help with the overall look of things and gives you like more of a visual, some textures, if you will, and it just makes it all the more cute. In the center of the circle, I think I'm just gonna write like Happy Mother's Day or I love you. But later in this video, you'll see other ways that you can decorate the middle circle here and maybe get a different idea for what you can do inside your card. And once you have your little messages put inside the card, it's ready to complete. For this card, I decided that I would use a little stamp that says Handmade with Love, and to match the silver accents throughout the card, I got a little silver stamp pad for it. Unfortunately, as I test this out, maybe I just didn't let it sit on the pad long enough, but I felt like it didn't come through. And so I just grabbed my silver pen real quick and just started to trace everything, and I feel like that kind of saved the day at the end, and it also made it look like I wrote that and made that, so that was cool too. But this is how I will complete this card. And then I'm gonna do one more for you. And the reason why I'm doing a second card is because I do have a little sister, and sometimes, you know, we just like to make sure that things that we give my mom are equal. And I have a lot of experience with handmade stuff, arts and crafts. So I decided that I would make like a twin type of card for her to give my mom, and then she could write like the messages and stuff inside. So it'll also give you another visual on how you can decorate this card, because I do decide to add other little things into it, and I do change up a little bit of the decor as well. And yeah, this was just a little fun card that I was able to make and share with you guys. It doesn't have to be for Mother's Day. It could be for a friend, it could be for a sister, it could be for anyone really. All you gotta do is change out the middle words and decorate it as you feel. Alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and add some final little gems to the back just to tie it in with the front. And I'll go on to my second card and give you the details on that as we get there. As I mentioned before, I am a pretty crafty girl. You can see it in my channel, you can see it throughout a lot of the videos that I've made. And for this card, I'm going to do the same thing, but the color scheme will be blue. My mom's favorite color is blue, and I felt like this would be a cute little homage to that. I did purple for my card because it was a thematic type of ordeal for her gift and her handmade card. And then I'll do blue for my sister's so it matches, you know, her true aesthetic and makes her feel like, you know, we are aware of her likes and dislikes and we appreciate her as a girl too. So same again, I decided I'm not going to put as much glue in between those holes just in case they didn't dry through. I think in the last one they did, but at this point I was just in the zone and I didn't really pay attention, so I kind of just lessened it up, and I'm just gonna layer this up pretty similar. One funny thing about this card is that I only had 2 M's in my letter pack. However, we had the bright idea to take 2 W's and turn them around. So you'll see I am going to put mom in the center again, but you'll know instead of M's, those are W's upside down. A little hack, a little trick for my besties out there that want additional letters, or I guess more specifically M's. Another thing I'd like to mention about this card is that I don't go as detailed with it. I keep this one much more simplistic. All of the little jewels I come in with, I decided not to do for this card, and that's because I wanted the cards to feel like they were still coming personally from me and my sister. I tend to have a little bit more of an over the top aesthetic. I like things to be big and bold and just out there, and I feel like my sister is more of a simplistic type of girly, so this card kind of matches and represents that. I did want to still go in with the pearls because, as you notice here, the pink does blend in with that background pink, and I feel like those pearls really help highlight the heart shape. So once again, we will line the heart with the beautiful little pearls, and we'll make sure that it's looking simplistic and perfect for not only my mom, but my little sister. All right, as we finish the front of the card, I'm just gonna complete it with some little heart jewels, and then I'm gonna take you inside. Once again, I'm gonna have my sister write her personal message to my mom, which won't be featured in the video. However, I do something different with the die cut extra piece that we're going to be gluing on into the center. I decided to put it on the left side instead of the right this time, and that's something I wish I did with my card. I do feel like it's easier to read like as soon as you open up that first page, but it did add for a difference, you know, between the two of them. Since I made my mom a resin jewelry tray, I decided to have my sister add a little resin jewelry piece that we made together for my mom. I ended up making some jewelry pieces as my very first resin project, and I gave them away to the pop-up card buyers, and since those were such a hit, me and my little sister decided we would make one for my mom that matches her blue card aesthetic. So I'm gonna just fill in that little piece there with the jewel, add some silver touches, we'll top it off with a handmade stamp, and she'll have an extra little gift inside this card from my sister. And there you have it, two cutesy Coquette themed Mother's Day cards that you can really make once again for anybody. I feel like these cards turned out so precious, so delicate, but yet detailed for both of us. And I know that my mom is going to be so excited to have these on top of her dresser or on the fireplace mantle. Um, Probably for the whole next year, honestly, until she gets another one from us for the next Mother's Day. So we had the purple card with a little extra flare of jewels, and then we had the light blue card that was a little bit more dainty, but nonetheless still super sweet. And I'm curious to know which one is your favorite. Do you like the more dainty looking one that's a little bit more simplistic, or do you prefer the bedazzled one? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next creative video I put out.